Explain it to you guys now, inshallah ta'ala. Kufr is more general than shirk. Every shirk is kufr. Whether it be kufr akbar or kufr asghar. Are we all together? As we're going to see, shirk is akbar, shirk asghar. Shirk is kufr. But not every kufr is. If somebody takes a mushaf right now and puts it on the ground and steps on it deliberately, this is what? It's kufr. But is it shirk? It's not. Anyone who insults the Prophet ﷺ, is this shirk? This is what? So kufr is more general. Kufr comes in many different forms. And from the forms of kufr is what? Shirk. Shirk is one of them. Does that make sense? So that's a way to know it. But there's a benefit I want you to all remember. Yes. The one who?
When you're Muslim, who believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah, that he's a Muslim.
Yes, he's a Muslim.
But he is associated, he is committing a shirk, minor shirk, without unknowingly.
Yeah.
And does it take it to kufr also?
So, good point. So, let me establish one point, inshallah ta'ala.
Because in my understanding,
let's establish one thing, important point. That is, when we talk about concepts, we're talking about general concepts, okay? In terms of its application on specific individuals, we have to understand that's another discussion. That's not what we're talking about here. We might talk about this issue is kufr. But we're not talking about so and so and Amr and Zayd and Bakr is a kafir. That's another discussion. We need to separate the two. Okay? For example, the scholars will talk about if somebody does this, he's a kafir. But they won't say Zayd or Khalid or Amr is a kafir. The people to do that is the scholars and the people of knowledge. The scholars are the ones who do that. That's a point I want to understand. But I want to come back to a point I was mentioning, which is you will sometimes see the word kufr used in the place of what? Shirk. And shirk sometimes used in the place of kufr. Yani they're taking each other's places. Does that make sense? And there are terms like that in the religion which take each other's places, even though they have unique meanings, but sometimes they take each other's places, like al-Islam and al-Iman, like al-Faqir and al-Miskin. And there are many words like that. Are we all together? There's a principle which is إِذَا اجْتَمَعَا افترقا وإذا افترقا اجتمعا. And that's another session. Meaning if they're mentioned in the same context, in the same place, they have two different meanings. And if they are mentioned in two different places now, they have the same meaning. Those two terms. Are we all together? So sometimes kufr and shirk might be mentioned in two different places, but they mean the same thing. But if they're mentioned in the same context, shirk is going to mean something different to the kufr, and is what I mentioned to you, the difference. Are we all together?